Hey folks, I'm Drew Barrett. I'd like to offer you a sincere welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you've been here before or if this is your very first time, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, and check me out on Facebook. As always, feel free to share anything I post. Today we're going to discuss the P word, punctuality. I think I can say that, punctuality. We've all heard the saying, better late than never. I absolutely hate that phrase. Though sometimes I am late myself, I would almost prefer better never than late. But I completely understand that the world does not operate on never, so sometimes you're just going to be late. But the Bible actually addresses being on time in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40, where it says, "Let all things be done decently and in order." When I was younger, my dad demanded that we were always on time. I guess that's where I learned to hate being late. No matter where we were going, we always had to leave early enough to get to wherever we were going and still be there early. We kind of live by the rule in business when I trained salespeople and trained other folks like that if you weren't 15 minutes early to a meeting with a client, that you were late. First impressions, folks, are very, very, very important. It's nearly impossible. It is nearly impossible to make a good first impression if you're late, especially if you're in the service industry, which is what I grew up with, because, if that customer can't count on you to be on time for a meeting, what are they going to think when it's time when their equipment's down or whatever it is you do? If you can't be there on time for a meeting, what do you expect them to think when they call you because of an equipment failure or a catastrophic failure or a roof leak, depending on your business, a plumbing issue, electrical issue, whatever? If you can't be on time for that first meeting, I seriously doubt that you enter into a contract or any kind of agreement with them. But we all have the same amount of time in every day. So why is it some people are on time and why is it not? Everybody has the same 86,400 seconds. You need to retrain your brain. It's that simple. It's a daily struggle with me, but I work on retraining. If you don't control your time's going to control you, and that's a fact. I've said it before on my other videos. The homeless person and the billionaire had the same amount of time each day. What they did in the past and what they're doing right now with that time has them where they are. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a famous quote that he was telling someone that they needed to devote more time to their project. And they're like, "Well, Arnold, I need to sleep 8 hours a day. I've got to sleep 8 hours a day or I just can't function." And Arnold's response to them was, sleep faster. So, also being late is hugely disrespectful to the other person or the people you're fixing to meet. You're absolutely telling them that your time is way more valuable than their time, and I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. You will never, ever gain the respect of others if you don't respect their time as much as your time. Now, most of you already know that I am a huge Alabama and Notre Dame football fan. And if you didn't know, you do now. Now, I know that if you're a Michigan fan, Tennessee fan, Auburn fan, or Georgia fan, I challenge you at this point to keep watching the video, because I know it may be hard for you knowing that new thing about me. But you see, I've been a bandwagon fan for Alabama since 1986, and I've been a Notre Dame fan since the early 80s. I don't even remember not being a Notre Dame fan. But I've been there for the winning seasons and the losing seasons. But each team consistently recruits great coaches. Now, everybody gets a bad coach every now and then, but they consistently, as a group, recruit great coaches. And those great coaches are able to recruit great players. But any great program, whether it's an athletic program or your business, even if you're self-employed, will require attention to detail. And we've gone over attention to detail in one of my other videos if you would like to watch it. But I'll guarantee you that all those programs and business require punctuality. Tardiness is simply a habit. It can be reversed and it can be overcome, but the problem is it's up to us, it's up to you to change your problem yourself. Now, I don't sit there and expect you to say, "Well, hey, Drew, you've talked me into it. I've been late more times than I'm not, but I'm never going to do it again. I know that's not realistic, okay? I know it's not. But if you start with the small steps, we always talk about the small steps. We have a saying at our house that if it isn't on the calendar, it isn't real. Deanna's a full-time college student. Deanna's running the company. Ethan's a full-time college student. I'm just scattered everywhere. So if it's not on a calendar, it doesn't real. We simply use a Google Calendar because it's easy for us. You use whatever you need to use. You can use a scratch paper. I'm not telling you. I'm just telling you what we use. But the key thing is that we use something. I usually look at my calendar right before I go to bed at night just to see what's going on the next day, because on mine I can see what Deanna's got going on, I can see what Ethan's got going on. I can see if I've got a doctor's appointment or a test schedule or whatever. So I look at it before bedtime. Some of you, that will drive you crazy. It won't work for you because you'll sit there and worry all night about everything you've got to do tomorrow. Hey, if that's you, don't do it that way. Don't do it that way. But it doesn't bother me, so I'm able to do it. But also, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning after my normal morning process is I scan my calendar again to remind me. Because I have a terrible, terrible memory. It may be because of my TIA. It may have been too much anesthesia during all these surgeries I've had. But I have a terrible memory, so I have to do a little more. And once again, this is something that I modified for me. So I set alarms and reminders to notify me to get going, so I'll have time to do whatever, whenever. That's just the way my process, and it works for me. You have to get on your own process, but please take a moment and try to find it. But as always, it's up to you to retrain your brain. You can do it if you'll take one step at a time. Now here's a question. If any of these videos are helping you, or if you have a suggestion that may help others with tips on how you stay on time or whatever on any of my other videos, please, please, please comment below. Comment on my Facebook page. You never know who you're helping. Even if they don't hit like, you may be helping somebody. But reminder, this channel is for you. If there's something you're struggling with, or if there's something that you would like me to talk about, also, in the comments, let me know, or on Facebook, send me a private message. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and share it if you want to, and check me out on Facebook. You are always, always, always welcome to share anything I post. And finally, if nobody's told you that they love you and that you're loved, I love you. And anytime I would love to have the opportunity to talk to you about somebody that loves us all. Deuces.